welcome to the very first episode of The Delicious Diva Cooks. Today's recipe is my world famous nut ziti. This is a recipe that I love to make because everyone who's ever tried it has loved it. It's so easy and it's really good comfort food. As you can see, I have all my ingredients already laid out here. We have some onions and garlic. I have some risotto cheese, some thyme, some green onions or shallots like we say in the West Indies. I have some parsley, and I have some green and red peppers that I've already sliced up. I also have some mozzarella cheese, some fresh spinach that I've washed really well. You have to make sure you wash the spinach, and I've cut the veins out of them so they're all ready to go. And then I have here some whole milk mozzarella cheese, and then our main ingredient, which is the spicy Italian sausage. Over here we have some penne noodles. Now I know you're probably thinking this dish is called nut ziti, so why is she using penne noodles? Well, my boyfriend Quincy always said that he hated ziti, never wanted to have it, so I decided to make something which was different and still kind of on the same basis as ziti, but a lot more delicious. I also have some olive oil and some pasta sauce. You can use whatever pasta sauce that you're comfortable using or whatever is your favorite. And over here I have all my spices and seasonings which I will be using to season the vegetables as well as the sausage. What I'm doing right now is just chopping up some onions. I've already peeled off my garlic here. I'm just going to be chopping. Take some of this off. Alright. So you could just go down like this and then turn it to the other side and chop some more here. Okay, so my garlic, I'm just going to smash it a little bit here. It kind of releases the fragrances a lot better than if you would have just chopped it. Okay, I'm going to smash this piece and do the same thing. Okay, so I have my onions and garlic all chopped up here. I'm just going to put it in a bowl and we'll use that in a minute here. Make sure yours actually gets in the bowl and not on the table. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is start with the sausage. So this sausage comes in a casing, but I don't really like doing sausage in a casing. So what I do is I just kind of run my knife over the top of it and rip the casing open. And then you're just going to pour the inside in there and discard the casing. I have my sausage all ready. I'm going to start adding my seasonings. So the first thing I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder here. And the sausage already has a lot of flavor to it, so you really don't need too much seasoning. They're just certain things that I feel like always bring out the flavors. So here I'm putting some onion powder in. Okay. We're going to put a little bit of salt. You don't want too much salt. And if you're someone who has high blood pressure, you can completely eliminate the salt. It's not really that necessary. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some red pepper flakes in here. And paprika, one of my favorite spices to use. Because this dish is basically an Italian dish, I love to put a little bit of Italian season, which is usually just a mix of basil, oregano, and even some thyme sometimes. But I do have some fresh thyme here that I'm going to put in, so just take a couple of prigs of that. Okay, and you can just pull off the green parts. You don't want the sticks to go in there. And then I'm going to put in my green onions here. And I'm going to take a few sprigs of parsley. And these I'm just going to rough chop. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just mix it up. I'm going to take off my little fancy Diva ring and just mix this up together here. So everything's really incorporated. You can get the flavors into the meat. Okay, I have a large pot of water here and it's already boiling, so I'm just going to add some salt to this here. And then I'm going to pour in my pasta. Okay, and that's just one box of penne. And then we're going to add just a little capful here of olive oil to keep the pasta from sticking. Finally got it. Okay. So put a capful of that here. Then I'm going to add some olive oil to this pot and to this pan. Okay, I'm going to turn the stove up. We don't want it to be too high, so about medium will be good. Here's where we're going to saute the vegetables, and here is where we're going to saute the sausage. Just get a little warm there. First things first, I'm going to put in my onions and garlic. Okay, now we're just going to add the peppers to this. Okay, there's a little juice at the bottom. I'll add that as well. And you just want to saute this a little bit. You kind of just leave it alone. The peppers will do what they have to do. Okay. So I'm just giving my pasta a little spin right here just to make sure it's not sticking. Okay. And just like move the peppers and onions around the pot. And then just let them sit so that they can take their time to cook. Then I'm just going to drop the sausage in there. It's going to start cooking. And this you can just leave for a little bit. Just let it cook wherever it lands. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of spices, the same spices I used to season the meat, to the vegetables, because you want everything that you taste to be well seasoned. So I just added a little bit of everything here, probably less than a teaspoon to the vegetables, and I'm just going to continue letting them saute. I'm just going to add my spinach in. Spinach doesn't really take that long to cook, so you can just put it in at the end. And it looks like a lot now, but trust me, by the time it's done, you won't even remember that you put spinach in there. My meat is looking good here. It's getting cooked. It's taking its time, but you just want to chop it up and move it around the pan a little bit so it's not sitting on top of each other. And then you basically just leave it alone. Let it do its thing. So my pasta, I just want to make sure that I give it a little spin now and again to make sure that it's not sticking to each other. But this basically cooks on its own, so you don't really have to worry about the pasta too much. So this is turkey sausage, and I find that turkey tends to get a little bit clumpy. So while it's cooking, you just want to make sure that you go with a spatula and just chop it up so that it's not sticking all together like this. So now what I'm going to do is, the meat is almost ready, so I'm going to add the pasta sauce so that it can cook with the meat and get a little bit of the flavor. I'm going to pour that in here. Like I said, you can use any sauce that you're used to using or that's your favorite. And our spinach is looking good. Nice and bright. Always, always, always use fresh spinach for this recipe. I tried it once with frozen spinach and it wasn't so good. So always use fresh spinach. So our meat has had time to blend with the sauce, so all the flavors are dispersed all over the place, and it's going to be delicious. And our vegetables have all cooked down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these vegetables and I'm going to incorporate it into the sausage. Make sure you get everything. Put them over here. So you kind of just fold the vegetables in with the sausage and the sauce. And just make sure that everything gets incorporated. Okay. It smells delicious. Alrighty. So once I've got a good mix, my next step is to add the mixture to the pasta, which I've already drained the water out of. So I'm just going to pour my mixture into my pasta. Just get everything in there. Can't wait. It's going to be so delicious. Okay. And I'm just going to start mixing it around. Make sure every single pasta noodle gets some juice in there from the sauce. Okay, what I'm going to do also is add my shredded mozzarella cheese that we talked about before to this mixture. Okay. And just mix it around so it's all incorporated. So I'm just going to spray my dish with some non-stick cooking spray so that it doesn't stick in the oven. And then I'm ready to start layering. What I'm going to do, usually I have a sidekick to help me with this, but what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit of the mixture into the bottom of the pan and kind of spread it out a little bit. And I'm going to take some of the mozzarella that I already cut and just put it in here. I'm going to pour more of the mixture on top. Okay. See that cheese? Alright. Mix. And I'm just going to add some more mozzarella. Cheese really is, I would say, the main ingredient to this dish, because it just makes it so yummy. Who doesn't love cheese? So I'm just going to break apart some here just so I can fill in the corners. And then add the remaining pasta. Alright. You're going to just spread that all around to the corners. Okay. And then I'm going to add my remaining cheese slices to the top. This is going to be really, really yummy. Alrighty. So this is how it looks when it's all ready to go into the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. You can tell when it's done when the cheese is all melted and gooey on top. Delicious. Alright. And leave the ziti in the oven for 20 minutes. That's enough time for you to check out my blog at www.deliciousdivacooks.blogspot.com. Join up and let me know what you think about it. Cheese is still bubbling. So, take a look at this. I just want to get a little taste here, so I'm going to cut a little bit from the corner. It smells delicious. Okay, I'm just going to garnish this with a little bit of the extra parsley that we have here. Time to taste. Delicious. Don't forget to check out my blog, www.deliciousdivacooks.blogspot.com. See you later!